Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for coming on to Enhanced Holistic Love Lab, where you would get tarot and life advice. My background's a little different. I am out of town, but I haven't been on here in a while, so I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent despite my busy schedule with my own situations and circumstances. I hope everyone is doing well. And thank you so much for tuning in. If you're tuning in for the very first time, my name is Tamika. This will be a general reading. Please see the description box if you require more specific or personalized reading to your situation. Okay, take what resonates and leave the rest. Before getting started, we've just had a solar eclipse on the 4th of December. So that brings about a lot of stillness in a lot of us, a lot of reflection, contemplations about life, planning right now. I've said in videos past within the last month or so that this is a cause for us to kind of sit still for a little bit and plan out some things. For some of us, a lot of unexpected situations have come about that we have to adjust to. And I think that energetically, we might have felt those things coming. Some of us, we might have made decisions, but we realized they weren't permanent decisions. And again, knowing that by way of it not being a permanent decision or a permanent situation, we kind of reserved in the back of our minds that we were going to have to adapt to some things, which is good because I feel like as we know, as we have foresight, as we communicate and commune with spirit and the universe and the ancestors, they give us inclinations and warnings and even cautions in some aspects of what to expect. So if you're tuned in, tapped in, and turned on, these things won't catch us by surprise. I'm feeling that we're making an adjustment a lot better than we used to, a lot smoother. I feel like we don't throw these spiritual tantrums or even physical tantrums, emotional tantrums, however you want to, name it. I feel like a lot of us are doing better with that. And that's coming with maturity. That comes with emotional intelligence and comes with maturity. Um, it comes with experience too, because I think that we've had enough experience to know that even if things don't work out the way we plan, they are working out for our highest good because we lend our faith to our higher self, to our higher consciousness. And just based off of the experiences, when we do lend ourselves and our faith, then it always works out for our good, even if we didn't have foresight for how it was going to work out exactly, if that makes sense. So we're just going to do a general reading, get some insight on maybe where we are and some potential things that may come up, and then how we may react to those things as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I've already consecrated the cards, but let me stop. I'm going to put this card back because I didn't do my salutations to spirit, but I got the 9 of Water to come out, or the 9 of Cups. So if it comes out again, then great. But just making mention and showing that card because as I was talking, it flew out. And that deals with wishes, that deals with things that we desire to come true. And if we look back over our lives, a lot of things that we wanted, a lot of them did come true. Maybe the process was a little different than what we expected, but in a roundabout way, we got what we needed out of the situation. And what I feel about that 9 of Cups just coming out, I feel like all that was for our good did come to fruition if we didn't fight the process. Okay. Spirit guide, angels, ancestors, and divine, thank you so much for your messages for the collective. Thank you that all that is said and done will be exactly what we need in the space that we're in on the journey we're on. Thank you so much for your truth, your messages of inspiration, love, wellness, in fullness, and healing, and all other things that come with the divine source and energy. Let us be the best version of ourselves always. Ashe, ashe, ashe. All right, now we're ready to get into the meat of the matter. I hope you all are doing well. My background is very hotelish because that's where I am. Um, so, for those of you that don't know, I am also a travel nurse, right? And I took an assignment not too far away from home, but it turned out not to be the assignment for me. And for some reason, like I said, not being attached to things if they don't pan out the way that you necessarily plan it, but knowing that whatever's for your highest good is what's going to be the outcome. Okay. So just being flexible, I feel like we're better at being more flexible. And again, going back to the spiritual and emotional intelligence that we have to have in order to continue to flow. If we're so rigid in the way things go and how we think they should go, then we end up getting ourselves into a place where we have resentment to the process when the universe is always trying to get things to come towards us that are is for our highest good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lay out the spread and then we're going to go over, but we're just going to go with it. Okay, thank you. Um, mhm. I feel like there may be a level of stability that we're feeling right now. We're feeling like we have footing. We're being cautious about the decisions that we make. Thank you. Being cautious about decisions that we make, not out of fear, but out of experience, out of maturity. We're not being as hasteful as we probably was before, and that's okay because everything serves a purpose in our journey. And then I think that we are really starting to make some wiser decisions for it. So it's all good. For those of us that have been planning something for a very long time, we've been very calculated and very meticulous about our decisions. Too many cards, Spirit. Being very calculated about our decisions to someone else on the outside of you, it may seem, you got the magician and the conscious, okay, just saying, it goes along with what I'm saying now. It may seem as though you're being impulsive to somebody else on the outside of your situation, but you're not. You're being quite the opposite because you thought it through, because you've got a release from spirit. Um, it's almost like spirit is giving us foresight in our dreams. Some of us are daydreaming more, and we are actually visualizing what it is that we want. And spirit is giving way to that so that it can come to full fruition. Like I said, being flexible about how it comes towards you, but knowing that it's coming towards you. I've been feeling myself personally like there's a lot of prosperity, and I know prosperity can come in many forms, but by the way of monetary funds, because Spirit knows that there's some things I got to take care of, and there's some people I want to help along. That's ultimately why I want to be blessed, is so that I can bless others and be a blessing to others. And money, money is just one of those currencies, okay? In another situation, it may be time that's the currency. In another situation, it may be advice. In these cards, Spirit. Thank you. In another situation, it might be too much, some advice, however it comes out, okay? So that is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like if you are cautioned or things seem like they're not moving forward in the quickest of manner, it's because you really do need to sit back and see the devil in the details, so to speak. So that might be the only slowdown that spirit is saying, like, wait a minute, I got some other nuggets to give you before this comes to full fruition. So if you're feeling like you're running into a roadblock block of some sorts, just know that that's not by accident. All right, so I'm finished with the spread. Wow. Okay. So the first thing that came out, like I said, was the Four of Earth or the Four of Pentacles. That's at the center of the reading of where you are right now. Like I said, you're feeling like you're making better decisions about things that go on in your life. You're not being as impulsive. You're trying to think things through. For most of us, a lot of us. Some of the potential challenges is recognizing when you do have the go ahead to do what it is that you've been envisioning. We don't want it to get to the point where we're so stable that we can't go with the flow, be a little bit more creative, be a little bit more spontaneous when the situation calls for it. I feel like there are new opportunities coming, um, for potential, but we may be afraid of embarking on this new journey, and therefore it keeps us a little bit more grounded than maybe we need to be, for some of us. And so what we need to focus on, though, is what we've been asking for, what we've been asking the universe, the divine for, the things we've been praying for when the opportunity presents itself. Now it's time to put fantasy to action, so to speak, and bringing those things down. I say that with the Six of Water because the Six of Water is very much remembering things of old, remembering what you used to fantasize, what you used to dream about, think about, visualize, daydream about. Okay, now this new opportunity is coming, and it's kind of time for some of us to step into that newfound opportunity, that new power, and it's unfamiliar territory as well. It's very much unfamiliar territory, but like I said, Spirit is giving us to go ahead that in some aspects, some of us are being called to go ahead and seize that opportunity because we haven't been impulsive about it. Now we actually have a plan, whereas before we just was going with it. Now we actually have a plan. So you're making better business decisions, you're making better decisions about who you spend your time with, all of that. So in the past, it's been like not understanding what all is entailed, underestimating yourself, maybe not having as much confidence that you might have needed. But now it's time to really spread your wings. And now when you go forward, you're going forward in a whole, you're going forward in maturity. We're going forward in a new attitude, a new thought process. So, and that's all good. It's all good. I think that we've had the motivation in the past, but maybe we didn't have all the details about the situation. So, in some ways, we might have moved prematurely. But now I feel like we have took a step back, um, counted up the cost about a lot of things, weighed the pros and the cons. Now we're ready to move forward. So, being that we're ready to move forward, now we have the magician here. It's all about now making things happen. Now you have foresight. It's like I keep hearing master manifester because that's what the magician is. The magician is a manifester. The magician is taking things, all of what you've been through, all your experiences, all of what you have now before you, taking inventory and now using much wisdom to move forward in a thing, right? So now we're ready. You know what I'm saying? Now we got our ducks in a row. At least for this cycle, I feel like we've learned what we have needed to learn in the last couple of months. And the eclipse is all about putting the shadow on the things of old and revealing the things that are new and upcoming. So I pray for a lot of you that the things that of old are maybe dealing with some traumas, going forth in a journey of healing or a level of healing. Um, Maybe having something that failed before, but now you have a new perspective or a new perception on how you are to move or about how you are to make decisions. All right. And so moving forward in the near future, we have the Eight of Cups. Okay. And the Eight of Cups is all about just that growth, just learning from past challenges. I'm not going to call them mistakes. I don't want to call them mistakes, but last challenges that might have come upon us. We're rising up from some of the things that we have. We're rising up from things that may have been an anchor to our ankle. Those things that have been weighing us down in the past. Now it's time to move into the newness, right? Period. And Eclipse brings all of that. The attitude about moving into the newness is the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. So I feel like with these two cards, it's about using more of your logic, using more of your creativity, using more strategy as you move into this inflow of abundance, as it says. I feel like again, we have learned our footing, we have learned our place in the universe, we have learned the part that we play in this cycle of where we are right now. And that's a great thing. It's a wonderful thing. And I feel like we're very calculated in how we move forward, whatever that is for you. Um, it's strange because in the environment it says things are moving and is moving very fast. I got the eight of fire here. So now that we have sat there and thought about the thing, planned the thing, now it's time to execute. But again, we're executing with much strategy. Messages from spirit, I feel, are downloaded into us to let us know, yes, now you have the green light to move forward. You'll know when we're making the right decision because we feel a sense of peace. Things come very smoothly. Things align even if they weren't in our plans. It's like things align because we are lending ourselves. We're going to bed at night saying, you know what? I'm not really sure how it's going to play out, but I know that you have my best interests. And your higher self is making those moves for you because you have kind of settled. You know you don't have to do this. Now you're settled. So with this fire sign, with this fire energy here now, with this eight of fire, it's like whatever was then stagnant in the past, now that you've done all the work, now we can start to move forward and make things happen. It's funny that in the hopes and fears that we have this release card, and it talks about time to move on. It's time to move towards what it is that maybe had been unclear, maybe stagnant. It's time to move. And I feel like it's not necessarily right now a physical move, but it's definitely a different chapter in your thoughts, a different chapters in your planning, another thing added to kind of like make everything come full circle. And I think that that's where we are. And it's also the caution of not letting things, don't let other people's opinions cause you to like get back into that mode of your unsureness. Like you're underestimating yourself, okay, in the past. And then we got the lover's card. I feel like here in the outcome, it's not necessarily about love, like joining with someone. It's more about everything coming together harmoniously. I feel like it's definitely that. And I'm sorry, my husband is texting me. Tell him I'm doing a reading. It's definitely about things marrying together, being more harmonious. Um, and I think that's where this is the energy I'm getting from the lover's card. I feel like things are becoming more stable. Things are getting to the point where they have good fitting. I feel like the outlook on the situation is definitely bright. It's a marrying of the two situations. It's a marrying of us being ready for the thing and the thing being there for us to seize the opportunity. Okay. So that's what I feel. I feel like this is a very, very fitting eclipse type reading. I might even, name it that, but this is just the energies I feel that are still lingering around the solar eclipse. Okay. I'm gonna pull a work your life oracle. I don't feel like anything is here meant for me to clarify. I feel like the message is very, very, very straightforward. So we're gonna pull a light work your life oracle card, and then we're gonna end it here because I don't want to make the reading too long. Thank you. See, it says the age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. So let's go ahead and read about what that's about. Without even reading about it right this second, I feel like when it says you've been training for this for lifetimes, it goes back to us taking that time to be developed in our skills and our emotions and our intelligence, emotionally, spiritually, transforming. Like, we're in training. We really are in training. Like, nothing about our life is mastered. Yes, we've been here before. There's some things that we are bringing forth from our previous past times, our Akashic records. Some things are being implemented now, but it's more important about realizing where we are and where we're going. But let's talk about the age of light. So on page 86. So, and this is the activation card, okay? So it says, you've been training for this for lifetimes. Mystics and sages throughout the ages have predicted this period in history, and you decided to incarnate in the middle of it. There is no mistake that you are supposed to be here at this time of great change. If you ever feel unprepared or daunted by the path that is calling you, know this: you've been training for this for lifetimes. You're way more than the days that have breathed through you in this life. You're also all of the lifetimes that came before. All of these experiences have polished your soul into the most magnificent expression that is your authentic self. Your soul has many facets. Imagine a fingerprint. Your soul is a million times more intricate than that. If you put together all the fingerprints of all the people that you've been, you would not even get close to fathoming how much of a unique masterpiece you are. You came in with a clear soul plan. You came in with wisdom beyond your years. This is part of you that longs to be seen. This is the part of you that is ready to step forward, that is ready to emerge. And this is not the lifetime to stay hidden, but to step forth, but and be seen and rise. And then it says, hold this card on your heart and say, I call forth the soul gifts and soul training that I have received throughout all of my lifetimes. I am ready to embody them all now without hesitation and without fear. I have been training for this for lifetimes. Beautiful, beautiful message, kings and queens. I feel like all of what's been said and done has already yielded back to this. We are still in training, but what we have already learned up to this point, we use those tools in our tool bag to go to the next steps and the next steps and the next steps. And I feel like the next steps for us, now that we have had our footing, we have started here. We're now in a place of stability, knowing what we need to compartmentalize, how we need to place things, and even some people in our lives, all to get to this point where we are harmoniously um, building to our higher good for our higher self. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Notwithstanding and realizing that we are the magician, we understand that we now have all of the tools. Now, our quest, the desire, operating in the steps forward is how to implement these tools. It's not enough just to have the tools if you don't know what to do with them, right? So now we're getting into coming into this higher consciousness that we understand what we have in our arsenal. And not only that, going back to our subconscious where we used to yearn for where we are now. Now we're here. And now we have to continue on to the next steps. This has been a beautiful reading, even for me. I hope that you've all enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also comment in the comment box. I do read the comments. And I appreciate you all so much. Until we see each other again, ashe, ashe, ashe.